we're recording so people can get all your crunchy munchies. Are you ready to crunch into the mic? ASMR.
The things I do for you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it very much so.
I can't have you bully me into doing more stuff like that, like using my inhaler. Or
You couldn't breathe. You're welcome.
That's true.
My favorite.
I got through that story so much faster after I started breathing.
My favorite is like right before it. You're like every few seconds. You're like, wait, and like the second after, you're like, okay, listen.
Now let me tell you the rest of the story. Yeah,
it was so funny. Oh my god. Wowie, is this what it's like having a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Was this peer? Oh, this is the peer pressure that you were told about for so long.
Yeah.
You thought it'd be secondhand smoking and stealing from convenience stores. No. It was starting a subpar paranormal true crime podcast.
Did you see that spit?
I was trying to figure out if my brain made that up or not.
Like, luckily I got it in my bowl. I was like...
Never change. Thank you so much.
This is what I get for having my dinner be like tuna and crackers. With like a salad with like 3 pieces of cucumber, a piece of cilantro, and like 5 pieces of lettuce.
Yeah, that's bone apple tit.
Bone apple tit.
Thanks for introduce our show. Is that a thing still?
Welcome.
Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. You're listening to Tipsy Mysteries.
Yeah.
If this is your first episode, hello. This is episode 24? 4, I think. Yeah, 24. Wow. We're like almost halfway to 50. Holy shit.
Shit.
It's
amazing.
Damn.
Who would have thunk?
I'm going to say this every time, but I'm impressed. Impressed with us.
Yeah.
Nice.
Me too.
Nice. Yeah, this is the cool, super awesome time explosion, magical time explosion show, where we, your hosts, I'm Kate. Yeah, we explode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
That's V.
Hi, I'm V.
We're going to tell you about all things paranormal, conspiracy, true crime, cryptid, medical mystery,
Anything that makes your friend be like, "Are you okay?"
You remember like when you
you don't have anyone else to talk to about like that really weird thing because you're like, they're all gonna give me that look,
that knowing look.
Mm-hmm.
We won't give you that look.
Nope.
We'll nod in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
It might make you uncomfy, but we'll do it.
You might give us that look, actually.
Ooh. See? So, in comparison, you guys will always be better. I promise.
It's true.
As we hit stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your week been?
Abby went to the protests.
Nice.
Woo, 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 woo. She got a sign from one of the stands. Are you in your undies? No. Oh, my bad. They're short. This is a fan cam now. Thank you. Oof. Thanks, Abby. Appreciate it, buddy.
Beautiful.
Week has been good. Doing the nannying job, which is fun. Get to do arts and crafts all day.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to watch B-grade sitcoms, so give and take. What about you, my dear friend?
Well, I'm back at my job in retail.
Yeah. Are you V very tired?
Yes. The V is for very tired.
For those not watching, currently on our screen, there's little name tags you can add. So mine says Mothman said trans rights, and V says V parentheses airy tired.
So because I am very tired.
Big old mood, buddy.
Yeah, it's been a week since our store has been open, and it's been so exhausting mentally.
See, I can't imagine.
Yeah. There's people, like, I'll say that in certain departments, there's been people who are being quarantined right now because they're sick.
Oh, wow.
So, like, a whole department, which was made of, like, 3 or 5 people, is all being quarantined, and they can't do their jobs. No one else can really do that job that helps maintain other departments and their jobs. So, and then there's over 7 or 8 people in another department who quit.
Jesus
and didn't
Christ.
come back after we were furloughed. So it's a lot of like bad news and working different areas for other people, like for other departments, and it's like, luckily, like my department where I work, all the people I work with are amazing and great, and like they make it worth it. Like when I can like talk to them, but like, oh my gosh, this is so frustrating. Like, I'm so tired. Like, I am tired of getting all this bad news. And they're like, I get it. We get it. Like this, but like, we've got each other's back in that situation and like helping each other, like stay afloat for now, which is good.
I'm glad you guys like at least have each other. As much as it does suck, because oof, buddy.
Like I missed having that social interaction with like the people I work with.
Yeah.
And like, I'm glad I have that back. And now we were just like kind of toughing it out together. And that's really nice to have like that feel, like that community feel where we all are like holding each other's back and like protecting each other.
Yeah. No, that's so important. Good Lord. Like, oof. Especially with everything going on right now. I always wonder what the future is going to be like when this comes out.
Right? Like, who knows, like, when this episode comes out, so many things could be so different.
Like, I'm already kind of seeing it. My worries are already kind of coming true. Like, slowly seeing the decline in BLM posts. I'm like, yo, come on. Please, please. So,
the lack of people caring and trying to be preventative in what's happening, or trying to make a change that's better for the world too. It's heartbreaking how things are just going downhill so fast.
That's
anyways.
So thank you for that.
Just for you.
We needed that. It's been yeah. So guys, still do your part. Educate yourself. Donate if you can. Protest if you can.
And stay safe.
Stay safe. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe. So today I was trying to remember my notes because I can't remember when I wrote these. Also, my brain, I think, Jesus fuck. You know, like when the plug isn't in all the way?
When it's kind of charging, but like it kind of stops at sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm hoping as we go, it'll get like,
I'll reconnect.
Yes, there we go. Thank you, buddy. What are you drinking tonight?
I have a spiked seltzer water that's prickly pear flavored.
Ooh la la!
I got it because I like the little mermaids on it.
That's so cute.
Right?
I love that. I've got a mix of white wine and Capri Sun in a Bulbasaur cup. So
beautiful.
So my night's
I love
going.
That.
Again, if you guys hear voices in the background, I apologize once and again. I'm sorry.
We're still remotely recording now.
Still remotely because we're trying to be safe.
Yeah.
Hope y'all are being safe too.
We saw each other last weekend.
Which was so nice after
there was
like over 3 months.
Yeah, a nice change of pace. Being like, oh, you're a real person. I've missed you.
It was so sweet. Yeah, guys, don't worry. We were safe. Like, we've all been quarantining, so less risk.
But now that I'm back out in that world, I'm just like, let's just decide what's best for us. And remotely seems like it's still the best option right now.
Yeah, so who knows? it's still taking things week by week at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh.
What demonic noise was that, Abby? Think of it as you guys get like a little extra spice. All those extra voices you can't quite make out. Is it a ghost? Is it my sister? Is it actually a demon?
Is there a demon possessing your sister?
Oh, I like that turn. I'm digging that.
I had my cat crying in the hallway. I don't know if you could hear that.
I actually can't.
Oh, she stopped crying now.
Oh.
She was a little bit earlier.
She has to yell the way she
Yeah.
does. Well,
Like, she still has food in her bowl, but she wants more.
oh, that's how Ruby is. Good Lord, she was wanting treats so much. Yeah. Ooh. So I wonder if you can guess my story for this week. I already know the title of this episode, so that's gonna be fun.
Is it a ghost story?
Yes, it is indeed paranormal.
Is it
a haunted object, you could say? I'll give you one hint. Lesbians.
I want to. Oh, wait. No, wait. I'm stuck.
They're lesbians. Blank.
Harold?
Ding, 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 ding. Are you pumped? Are you excited? Are you ready to learn about Harold the doll? Google Harold the doll really fast.
No, I know him. I'm just like, but what do I remember about him? I'm trying to like figure out like I know Harold the doll, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to look up a picture of him.
Yeah.
That's what's like really like throwing me off.
I think this will really complete him the Robert the doll story, because the amount of fucking times I've gotten them mixed up. And you're like, wait, no, wrong doll. I'm like, wait, you're right. JK. So maybe this will fix that problem. Oh boy. This is say he's beautiful. He's beautiful, right?
I don't like that. Was it just like a baby doll? Oh my gosh, that's so creepy. Stop it.
No, Harold is a beautiful baby that we do not speak ill of.
That's right. Okay. Okay, fine. I'm fine with this.
Cool.
Tell me about this baby doll that I saw a picture of him in like a duffel bag, and I'm like, why is he in a bag?
Because that's his carrying case.
Okay. Tell me about him.
Oh,
I am ready.
My little pop filter fell off again.
Oh no.
Motherfucker.
I'm going to look at kittens as you tell me the story.
Good call. Okay, I think that's sweet. So at first, I got frustrated with this story because I Googled Harold the doll. There's no wiki article for him. None. I'm like, how am I supposed to get the info I need for my 2 in-depth stories that are over a labyrinth and should be shortened? Well, turns out I actually had to buy the book on him.
Really?
Which, after reading this book, I felt fine with buying it, because everything this guy has gone through, I'm like, holy shit. You earned my book purchase, I promise. This is a roller coaster ride. From start to fucking finish. So, are you ready?
I keep dropping my phone, but yes.
So, we're going to go back to the beginning. God made Prince. Anyway, back to the beginning. So, the way Harold's story starts out is there's this guy named Greg, and in 2003, Greg was at a flea market when he sees this old man take a doll out of a box and puts it on a table. And so Greg, who was curious, he went up and asked about the doll, And the old man told him that 60 years ago, he gave this to his son. Oh, sorry, he gave the son... Jesus fucking Christ. He told him that 60 years ago, he gave his son the doll, but soon after, his son mysteriously died. And so they kept the doll in the house, you know, because it was their son's. But over time, they began to see the doll laugh, sing, and cry all on its own. So super duper fun. So they did what anyone else would. They took the doll to a priest who told them that the doll was possessed and that they needed to burn it.
Burn it with fire.
Guess what? This doll would not burn.
No.
Yeah.
I thought the parents were going to be like, no, it's my son's spirit. No, that's, ooh.
Oh, it gets better. Just you wait. So, hearing this entire story, Greg is like, holy fuck, I'm gonna buy this. Sweet. So he buys it all. He takes it home, and he lists it on eBay as a haunted doll in order to sell it for a higher price. Think of the haunted doll market. It is real.
There is a big haunted doll market.
Holy shit. Until I did this story, I was like, holy fuck. These can go for so much money. Like, you kind of never seen that?
Yeah.
But I guess I never, like, gone
You've never actually, like, searched it. And, yeah, there's a lot.
They go for a fucking lot of money. So.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Why would you want... Like, remember when you got that, like, ventriloquist
Oh, God.
doll?
My parents got in Las Vegas for me, and its head was missing, so I just sewed the head back on.
Didn't you guys also find, like, something inside of him?
I don't think so.
Wasn't it like there was like hair or something?
Oh God, was there?
I don't remember. I remember being like, if I saw that, I wouldn't put that together. I remember thinking that. I'm like, I wouldn't have done that. If
head was probably gone for a reason. No, and then my cats like started like not coming in my room, and so finally I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get rid of it. And so I take this doll and I put it in the kitchen for the night before we take it to Savers. That night, 2 different times, both of my cats went into the kitchen and growled, which is fucking weird. So, yeah, I think the point of the story is, don't be like me. Don't be a dumb person. Don't get on a doll. You'll also see it from the story. So, our boy Greg is like, hell yeah, I'm going to list this on eBay. I got it. So, he also posted a video of the doll where it supposedly moved, and there was an EVP caught of a voice of... There was an EVP caught of a voice saying the name Harold. So the name stuck. Because at first you see it and you're like, why is this baby doll named Harold?
Yeah.
Well.
It's a weird name for a baby because you're just... Usually when you think of Harold, you think of like a 50-year-old man or something.
Just you wait.
Like an old man. Okay.
Spoiler,
I'm scared.
Not spoiler. So, that happened. Pretty soon after is when a woman named Kathy comes in. So she was on eBay, she sees it all, and she buys it. She's like, nice. I want to, get this doll, and I'm going to kind of flip it, like house flip it, but haunted doll flip it for more money. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole fucking thing in this entire story. So she buys it, and following this, Greg tells her that he, in fact, made the whole thing up, and that he didn't believe in the paranormal, and he even faked the video. Apparently, he, got some fishing line and made it all move. He also pulled the name Harold out of his ass. So.
What?
But wait. There's more. Yamu, there is. Boof, boof.
Boy, stop it. Move. Chill out.
He's getting excited.
He's getting excited.
So, after hearing this, Kathy's like, okay, she didn't even care. She decides to run with it. And she had planned on keeping the doll for a few months, and then she wanted to put it back on eBay with the story how she had spent the last few months living with this haunted doll and, really, building up this story for profit.
Yeah.
Essentially, which makes sense.
Still making some profit off of it.
Exactly. However, she would end up getting more than she bargained for. Ha ha ha. What could possibly go wrong? So, soon after Kathy acquired Harold, strange things began to happen. To the point that she became so terrified that she took Harold, wrapped him up before putting him away in a closet. And it wasn't until a year later that Kathy took him back out and decided to sell him. She even put in the description of her listing that the doll was not only haunted, it was truly cursed. Cheers. So this is a pretty fun origin story, huh?
So a son mysteriously died. The dad keeps the doll, and then eventually, out of nowhere, decides to sell it. And then Greg buys it to sell it on eBay. And then when the seller's like, "Hell yeah, I want to buy it," Greg's like, "By the way, it's fake." And they're like, "Well, shit, I'll still buy it." And now it's cursed.
Yeah. So I wasn't able to 100% find out if what Greg said about finding it at the flea market was true or not.
Mm-hmm.
But like everything else with the doll, he did make up and pull out of his ass, basically. And so then Kathy's like, "I don't care. I can still make money off of this." But then it turns out that the doll is actually haunted. So I
wonder if it's kind of like that, like
weirder.
manifestation of because they think it is, that it became so.
See, I wondered about that too, but you'll kind of see what happens with Harold.
So I'm getting ahead of myself.
Who exactly is in there? I love your detective brain. You gotta wait. You have to say it. They're lesbians, Harold.
They're lesbians, Harold.
Thank you. So that's already the title of this episode. It's
lesbians,
Harold. Love
Harold,
that.
they're lesbians.
Which is it?
I think it's they're lesbians, Harold.
Either way, it's true. So here is where the doll's current owner, Anthony, comes in. So Kathy lists the doll back on eBay as like, "Y'all, it's cursed." For insert price tag. Ding ding.
Yeah.
So Anthony, he sees this doll and he decides he wants to buy it because he's currently writing a book called Haunted eBay. Are you going to believe me or your lying eyes? I love that. So in this book, he was going to buy haunted items from eBay and then run experiments on them, which sounds like a pretty fucking cool book. And I don't know if he wrote it or not. He wrote the Harold the Doll book, but not sure if he wrote that one.
It's probably just spawned from that original story to this new story.
That would be my guess, but like either way, cool idea for a book nonetheless. So he sees this doll, he's like, "Holy fuck, I want to add this to my book that I'm writing currently." So, so Anthony sees it. He bids on the doll. However, someone else begins to outbid him. And they even sent him a message saying that he like might as well give up. The doll's going to be mine. And it's like going back and forth. Like he's putting him out and the guy's like, "I'm going to one up it." So for like the sake of pride, basically, Anthony just kept bidding and bidding. And finally he's like,
Did he spend all his haunted item money on just one doll?
All of his haunted buckaroos. So it got to the point where it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to put in $750 so that this other guy takes it and has to pay for it. So he bids $750. The last second, the other guy backs out. So Anthony is left to pay the $750 for this haunted doll.
He spent his haunted money on it. All his haunted expense on one doll.
I think he's like budgeting out every month, like this much for groceries, this much for play, this much for paranormal. I mean,
that's you.
That's me. You're right. So I still think that's hilarious that he was left to pay $750 for this doll. So shortly after acquiring the doll, Kathy sent Anthony a message saying how she was worried about him actually owning Harold and offered to give him a refund. She said, quote, "I should have just thrown that thing in the ocean." So, what could go wrong? And so she also told him how the doll had been involved in 2 deaths within a 6-month period. And how...
2?
2. Just
in her possession?
Yeah. So, and she said like how if she wrapped Harold up and put him away, things seemed to calm down. And so that's why he was put in a closet for a year. So, the 2 instances. Pretty spooky. So, Kathy told him about her experiences with the doll, including One day, Kathy was on the phone with her friend on the... Oh, fuck. So one day, Kathy was on the phone with her friend when on the other end, her friend screamed because there was a wolf spider crawling on her back. And moments later, Kathy looked down and she saw a giant wolf spider crawling across her floor towards her bathroom. So she's like, fuck that. Then later that day, she set Harold down in the living room and then she heard a crash from her bathroom. So she goes into the bathroom and she saw that there's a linen closet in there. It had been previously messy and closed. The linen closet was open with all of the towels stacked neatly on the floor outside of it. So Harold's basically like, y'all not cleaning your house. Come on.
He sounds like my mother.
Passive aggressively folding your towels and putting them outside.
Yeah. Or like rearranging everything I put away. And I'm like, excuse me. I have a system.
Not according to Harold, you don't.
There's a method to my madness.
Harold would disagree. So, that happens, which is super fun. And then Kathy, she also had a roommate who had stored Harold in his closet. And when this roommate went on vacation to Amsterdam, he died instantly after falling down a flight of stairs. Yikes. And then another friend of Kathy's wanted to see the doll. And when she did, she looked into his eyes. And a month later, she developed a brain tumor and passed away soon after. So, those are the two deaths that Harold was involved in. Super fun.
Crazy.
And even after this, Anthony's like, you know what? Deal's a deal. I'll keep the doll. It's all good. So, once Anthony got Harold, he began to do some tests and experiments on him, but he wasn't having any luck by himself, and he wasn't able to prove anything conclusive. So he called one of his medium friends, which, okay, side note, throughout the story, he has a shit ton of friends in the paranormal field. Like, that is his fucking world. He has, like, 70 goddamn medium friends. This is one of them. And he asked her to see the doll. And so she's like, okay. So she came in for a session with Harold, and while Anthony, like, he was setting up an audio recorder so that he could record the session.
Yeah.
But shortly after, the medium said that they had to stop. She told Anthony, quote, "I'm sorry, Anthony, but I can't do this anymore. The doll just threatened to kill me. I have a heart murmur, and I can feel his hand squeezing my heart."
Oh my gosh.
End quote. So after the end of the session, and then later Anthony, he was listening back on the recording, and he was shocked to hear different EVPs that had been recorded during the session. They included an angry roar, "Shut up, bitch." And right before the medium told Anthony to stop, there was a voice saying, quote, "I'm going to kill you, bitch." That's Alex laughing in the background.
I noticed.
So Harold's not very nice, as you can see. So a year later in 2015, Anthony locked the doll away due to him and others being affected by migraines, nightmares, and back pains, along with the growing amount of negative occurrences. Like, you know what? I gotta put Harold away. I can't deal with this right now.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2013.
So that was in 2005.
Oh, wait, 2005.
Okay, and now we're going to 2013.
Yep, so Fast forward. Blah, blah. So this is when BuzzFeed put out a list of the most haunted dolls in the world. And lo and behold, our buddy Harold made the rankings. He scored varsity. The info, however, proved to be inaccurate. And like they basically were just making the doll spookier than it actually was. And kind of like just making up stuff. And they ended it by saying like, "The doll has not been seen since 2005. Ooh." And I guess it's like this bothered Anthony enough that he ended up seeing
Brought
this
the doll out.
Yeah. See, look at your detective brain at work. So he sees this. He's like, hey, what's this fake news? Come on. Yeah. So he pulls Harold out of storage and he takes a picture of him and he put it online telling everyone that he was the actual owner of the doll. Now this is where the floodgates came crashing open.
Oh no.
So once this picture was out for the world to see, people began to get affected by Harold, and Anthony's inbox became flooded with messages from people writing about their experiences since seeing the doll. So this is like both like mediums and then even people that didn't believe in the paranormal were like, hey, I'm having these really weird fucking dreams. I thought I should tell you. He's like, okay. So Harold's just running around. So one of these messages included, so this included a few messages from different mediums and sensitives, one of which wrote Anthony saying, quote, Harold came to me and he was very pissed. He told me he is angry that you've had him for so long but haven't helped him. Ooh, spooky. Mm-hmm. Others wrote in saying that they had been affected by migraines, nightmares, and back pains, all things that Anthony was experiencing. While others reported feeling as though Harold was watching them while they were inside their houses. Love that.
And you made me look up what this doll looked like?
Cheers.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're fine. You're probably fine. I've kind of heard mixed things. Like some people, when researching this story, will have some weird occurrences, get headaches, get kind of dizzy. I personally didn't get affected by anything when I was doing this research. Mm-hmm. So I don't know personally. So following the big response he's getting, Anthony went on a live radio show to be interviewed and answer questions about Harold. And it turns out that the host of the show had connections to none other than the big titty goth GF himself, Zach Bagans. Your face. If you just like instantly like shut down, like entire body language just done.
I have a headache now.
No! Is it from you or from Harold?
I don't know.
So, none other than Zach Attack himself. So Zach, they hear about this. And so after hearing about the doll, Zach asks if he can show Harold on an episode of Ghost Adventures. So Anthony agrees, and Zach takes Harold to the Island of Dolls. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? We just don't know. And they had this brief segment before they went to the island where they it was like the three of them in this room alone with Harold in his suitcase. And Zach was the only one that touched Harold. And later, after holding him, he saw that he had 3 small bruises on his left arm, seemingly in the shape of baby fingers. Oh, this is my favorite. So Zach was also quoted as saying, quote, "This isn't Barbie's boyfriend. This is for real," when he was referring to Harold. So I watched that clip and I was like, wait, what did Zach just say? Alex is trying to contain all of her emotions currently. I might just have to show you that clip. Harold, I'm not making fun of you. I'm genuinely making fun of Zach Bagans because that was the funniest shit. Like him seriously saying that this isn't Barbie's boyfriend. This is for real. Anyway, fun times.
It's a baby doll.
It's a baby doll. But it isn't Barbie's boyfriend.
Nope.
This is for real. So, it was also around this time that Anthony adopted a puppy named Chance, which is cute because he was he had like 2 owners prior to Anthony getting him, and so then Anthony renamed him Chance, and I was like, oh, my little heart. Ooh. And so Anthony got him, but when he brought him home, his dog would refuse to go into any room that Harold was in. But after Anthony actually introduced Harold to the dog, he's like, Anthony's like, Harold, this is Chance. Chance, this is Harold. Everything seemed like calmed down, and then Chance was no longer afraid, and he would go up to the doll without any fear. So I thought that was cool. Following
That's interesting.
It gets, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, following this, more and more people began to have experiences involving Harold. And there was a woman named Marianne who messaged Anthony after her encounter. She was asleep one night when she woke up at 3 a.m. to the sound of a child crying and calling her name. The next night, she again woke up at 3 a.m. to the sound of a woman screaming her name. Then the following night, she felt something get onto her bed, and assuming it was her cat, she moved to give it some room. That's when she heard the voice of a child crying and saying, quote, "I always get in trouble. I always get blamed." And when she opened her eyes, she saw Harold the doll's face floating above her. Love that. No,
I
thanks.
don't. No, thank you.
So she hears all that, and then she sees Harold the doll's, the baby face floating above her. Yeah, no, I'm so good. Cheers.
No, thank you.
So there was also a man named Larry who told Anthony about his experience as well. And so like Anthony was like posting about Harold online and kind of making like some info about him and some like vlogs and blogs, and I'll kind of get into more of that later.
Mm-hmm.
So people were able to contact him pretty easy when they had experiences. So a guy named Larry does so. He told Anthony about how he had been trying to fall asleep one night when he saw what looked like the face of a woman with long hair that was surrounded by fog. So there was no body. Suddenly, the face of a young child appeared next to her, and because of their haircut, he assumed it was a boy. And it was then that the woman's arm reached out from the fog as if to ask for help. And that's when the face of a scary man appeared. He was gaunt with burns covering his face. Then the man then growled and pulled the woman back into the fog. And when he did that, Larry could see claws. So good. And so following this, Larry went and had a sketch artist draw the faces that he saw.
Mm-hmm.
And so just remember that, because that'll come into play later.
Okay.
Woo-woo. And yeah, as I said, so it's around this time that Anthony was documenting everything that was happening. So if he had something happen, he would do vlogs or videos explaining the weird occurrences, and then he was also sharing what other people had been experiencing with Harold. And so he kind of created a blog page and then a Facebook where people could kind of share and kind of realize what they're possibly experiencing going through.
Yeah.
Spooky. So, a little while later, Anthony received a message from a woman named Jane and her son Vincent. So, these aren't their real names. These are the pseudonyms that they've been given, but just Jane and Vincent. So, her 6-year-old son was on the spectrum, and he was also a clairvoyant who would have visions and then draw what he saw. This comes into play. So, Vincent had been having visions about Harold, and so his mom decided that she needed to contact Anthony. Be like, hey, I don't know what's going on. Here's this.
Yeah.
And then, so Vincent actually ended up being the biggest help when it came to finding out the truth behind Harold. And Vincent was at one point having daily visions about the doll and would send these pictures to Anthony. It was really cute. After a while, like, Anthony and Vincent grew really close and became best buddies, and Vincent was calling him Uncle Ant. It's like, oh, my little heart. They're just like talking about it and like saying the pictures and just having like a little blast. Woo. So eventually, they would come to find that there were in fact multiple spirits possessing the doll. And in one of his visions, Vincent said, quote, "The children want to go outside, but the big black blob won't let them." So, if that's not nightmare fuel, I don't know what is. So there were 5 prominent entities that reside inside the doll. Mm-hmm. So the first is the ghost of a man who is actually named Harold. I don't know if that's a coincidence or if Greg, the first guy that owned it, was secretly sensitive and didn't know.
Yeah.
But there is a ghost of a man actually named Harold inside of Harold, which was the fake name anyway. You get it.
Yeah. He might have even had like a dream himself and not realize that like influenced him, giving him that name.
See, I like that. I feel like that would make sense because Harold feels like too weird of a coincidence, you know. Yeah,
it would be I like out of all like the English names, like for it to just also be the same one that a man who faked it, who didn't believe in it, would choose.
Exactly. Like, I'm not buying it. Not buying it, buddy.
Yeah.
So we have Harold. Oof, I'm burpy. There is also the spirits of 2 women that were related to Harold. Most likely nieces, is what Vincent said.
Yeah.
There is also the spirit of an unidentified little boy. And our 5th contestant, can you guess?
Is it the woman with the long hair?
No,
Did it say
actually.
long hair?
Yeah, it was long hair, but no. What entity?
Is it a baby?
Not a baby. Not a baby. Alex guessed right.
I can't hear what she guessed.
She guessed silently. It's no good. It's no good.
It's just like a demonic thing.
It's a demon. It's a demon.
Mm-hmm.
So we got those, and
Most likely that's the thing that's like coming up as like something that would make people want to reach out, like a woman needing help or as a child crying for help. And that would make sense that like why, if she was trying to cry out for help, that he would try to like take her back in the fog. But that would make people be like even more so like, I need to help them because there's something else going on. And that would also be part of the trap.
That detective brain is too strong.
I'm just paranoid.
Paranoid about demons or just bib dolls?
In general.
Okay, fair. Big mood. So
Mostly about demons and dolls.
That's fair. Cheers. Staying alive. Staying not possessed. Dink.
That's why the only dolls allowed in my house are BTS ones.
Only BTS can haunt V.
Exactly.
So we have those main 5. Along with them, there is also said to be even more spirits possessing the doll that remain in the background, or they just don't come forward.
Mm-hmm.
There are at least 10 more. Jesus, everyone's opening the door. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
There are at least 10 more, though some mediums have claimed that there are hundreds. So pretty cramped. Not a whole lot of leg room. Your butt's probably against another butt, is what I'm guessing.
I'm kind of like wondering, like, would it have been like almost as if like it's like a dream catcher, it just catches all of that, or like as if it was like a web, or is it like a portal where like all of these spirits are going in and out, and they're kind of like trapped in there now, though?
Maybe portal then, because the demon is the one that seems to be keeping everyone there and not letting them leave and move on. And it was also apparently the demon that was the one that would punish or attack anyone that tried to help Anthony or made fun of the spirits or the doll. That's why Harold is a beautiful baby boy.
He is a beautiful baby boy.
Beautiful baby boy. So that's fun. For example, you want to hear how some people have tried to help and then things not gone as great?
I guess so. I guess I will.
Tee-hee-hee-hee. As I readjust my little leggies.
Tell me these things.
Okay. So, for example, many have been pinched, scratched, or had immediate migraines that were apparently so bad it felt as though they were getting hit in the head with a baseball bat. So super fun.
Yeah.
There was one woman who began to say negative things about Harold and moments later began to cough up blood. There were also 2 men who made fun of Harold while watching the episode of Ghost Adventures. And soon afterward, one got a ruptured larynx while the other developed diverticulitis, which is an infection in the intestines. Super fucking painful. Also rupturing your larynx. Super fucking painful. There was another woman who said that she didn't believe Harold was haunted, and 30 seconds later, she had a gash from the middle of her stomach to the small of her back. Yeah. But does Harold stop there? No. No. Not there, my dear friend. I forgot about this part. There was also a medium who was doing a reading on Harold when she received a bite on her hand out of nowhere, which left the imprint of teeth. And when she put her hand up to Harold's mouth, guess what? It matched the doll's teeth. For those not watching the video, V is in shock and looking at her hands, questioning why I asked her to do a podcast and why she said yes.
I am. That's exactly what I'm doing.
The thing is, like, you can only see, like, 2 teeth painted on Harold, which is...
So you see tiny little baby teeth on her?
Baby teeth, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm not making fun of you. Just
No. Of course not. Would never.
never. Wouldn't dream
Never in my life would I. Yeah.
Wouldn't dream of it. So that's all super fun. Other people who have encountered the doll have reported feeling so panic-stricken that they can't move, and they feel like they're being held down by something that won't let them leave the room. Like, just like you freeze up, essentially. And then others have reported seeing the doll's eyes turn from light blue to jet black. Super fun. Oh, yeah. And people have also apparently seen Harold. It's like someone will be next to Harold talking. They will then see what looks like Harold's mouth moving as if he is mimicking the person talking and making fun of them. He has also been known to side-eye. Fun fact. Check that off the Tipsy Mysteries bingo. Ah. You okay? You okay, buddy?
I got a burp, but
I told you this was a wild ride.
this is a wild ride. I wasn't expecting this.
Oh no, all this research, I was like, holy fuck.
I can see why now you're like, hell yeah, I'm glad I bought this book.
Yeah, I'm like, buddy, you went through everything. Please take my money. So, there was also a couple who, after helping Anthony, they kind of like gave him their experiences and kind of like some theories on what could have happened. They started experiencing more paranormal activity, and this is the shit I can't do. They began to see doppelgangers of their children. I can't. Doppelgangers always fucking get me. So, for example, they saw their daughter walk by the bathroom when she was, in fact, playing on the floor with her toys. They then saw their son go up the stairs when he was actually laying down on the couch. It gets weirder, though. The couple was even out at a bar one night when the wife, she looked across the bar and she saw her husband when he was, in fact, sitting right next to her, holding her hand.
No.
I don't like that. No. Like, if y'all want to get me scared, doppelganger stuff. Any fucking time.
I don't like that.
No, not you.
I don't like that at all.
Alex was maniacally shifting her hands together. Do not. Absolutely do not. She's gonna do something. Help. SOS.
I like 2 Alexes is too many.
If you said 2 Alexes is too many. It's true. So that's super duper fun. It was at this time that Anthony needed a new place to stay. So a friend from New Jersey offered to let him use their house for several weeks. And he's like, cool, awesome. And not long after he made his arrangements, Jane, so Vincent's mom, she sent him another drawing that Vincent had made for him. It had the letters EWR written on it. This was the airport code for Anthony's flight. The drawing also included a picture of a dog that looked nearly identical to Chance, with the word stomach written on it. Oh, I hate this part. So,
No!
Soon after he arrived in New Jersey, Anthony came home to discover that Chance was ill, and so he took him to the vet, trying to figure out what's wrong. And when he took him there, he learned that the dog's abdominal organs were in his chest. None of the vets had an explanation for this, and the only way that can happen is with like intense trauma, like from a car accident. And he was fine with everything else. And despite medical intervention, Chance passed away soon after. I know. So when Anthony came back, he found Harold, and like any other person would, began cursing him out, being like, I know you did this to the dog. I know you fucking did this to the dog. And he's just throwing holy water on him. And he's pissed off because, you know.
His dog!
And this is when the room that he was in began to start swarming with gigantic flies. And he actually got a video of this, and it's terrifying. Oh my god. It's like, it's just flies in this fucking room, like, coming out of the window, and they're fucking huge. And that's, like, demonic shit, so, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know. If it makes you feel better, a little after this, Anthony was able to rescue 2 more dogs. And like in the book, and like with more updated Facebook posts, like, they're his babies. He protects them no matter what. So I don't know if that makes you feel better or not.
Now I'm just thinking about Moo though, because he had 2 owners before me, and I'm like, baby. I would never. Okay, if BTS haunted me and they try to hurt my dog, I would get rid of BTS. I'm sorry, but like, absolutely. They can't touch my dog.
No,
Moo is baby. My dog. He is baby.
I will fight some demons for Moo if I have to.
Yeah, me too.
We're the Moo protection squad. I know, buddy. So Anthony, like, he's a strong fucking guy. He's, even after this, he's still like, I gotta keep going. Like, and I mention it later, but essentially he's like, I need to keep doing this. The only reason I'm still doing this is because there are the spirits of children in there that are still trapped. Otherwise, I would have left this long time ago.
Yeah.
So continuing on with this mission, because his goal is to find out who these spirits are and how to release them.
Yeah.
And so in June, Vincent had told him that he needed to go to Connecticut. So when his time was up in New Jersey, he got in his car and began driving. And he somehow ended up in Massachusetts instead. But instinctively, he knew that something needed to happen there before he could find his way to Connecticut.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, stopping here, I guess. So when Anthony showed Vincent's picture that he drew for him to one of his medium friends that was there in Massachusetts, she told him that he needed to go to a coffee shop and look for the man who writes on paper, and that he would give him more answers. Yeah. So on Sunday afternoon, Anthony found his way to the nearest coffee shop. He ordered a coffee and looked around for a man who was writing on paper, and he just didn't see anybody. It's like,
yeah,
I don't see anyone. Okay.
Is it the paper cup? No.
It's his barista all along.
They're your therapists, and now they're your mediums.
They're lesbians, Harold.
Lesbians.
So after about like 2 hours, he's like, you know what? I'm not seeing anybody. So he gets up and he's walking down the sidewalk. He passes the store next door when something caught his eye. It was a flyer advertising a Paranormal 101 class. It's like a fucking Lifetime movie.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, it sounds like a movie.
Right,
like,
right.
There's so much happening.
So he's like, okay. And on a hunch, he went inside. He's like, sounds right, I guess. It's okay. And that's when he met the instructor of the class, who welcomed...
Was he writing on paper?
Just you wait. Just you wait.
No.
So the instructor welcomes him in, and the guy who teaches the class had actually recognized Anthony from all of the blog posts and vlogs that Anthony had done about Harold. So Anthony is like pretty well known within the paranormal community, and everyone's like, they've seen Harold, they know about him. And so he comes in, they're like, holy fuck, that's Anthony. Is that Harold in your duffel bag, sir? He's like, why, yes, it is.
He just takes him everywhere with him?
He does indeed. He needs to protect everyone from the doll,
I guess.
Yeah. And so they hit it off, and Anthony was more than happy to share Harold with the class because everyone's interested in the paranormal there. This is where Anthony would meet one of the students named Ken, who was an automatic writer. So automatic writing is when you essentially either channel your spirit guides or other ghosts to write through you, or you write down what you hear them saying when you're in that meditative state. So Anthony realized that Ken was the man his medium friend had told him about. So he's like, holy shit, can you like do a reading on Harold? And Ken's like, yeah, sure, let's do that. So during the reading, Ken said, Quote, he's telling me that not only is he a high-level demon, but he has danced with the devil himself. Little baby doll. Love that. So this left Anthony concerned, and he told the class that if anything was to happen to them, to please call him immediately, and he could usually stop it by throwing holy water on the doll. And he still does this to this day, because people still kind of have experiences with Harold. Which, by the way, guys, if you do, I will put up Anthony's contact info. You can also Google Harold the Doll owner, and he has his email, his website up. He gets back pretty soon, it seems like. So, anyway, at this point, the man teaching the class was also growing concerned, and so he called his friend named Michael, who was a shaman and healer, and who was well-versed in battling dark energy. So the man asked Michael if he could cast a protection for his class and remove the demon from the doll. He just calls him. Michael said that he could cast protection, but that he would need 48 hours to prepare himself before he could confront the demon. It was then that Ken looked up with a startled expression as he said, quote, it just told me, finally, someone worthy. Love that. Love that. Me too, B.
I'm just like, this boy, he is ready to tussle. He's been waiting for a fight.
It's me, 5'2", ready to stab somebody if they're being shitty.
I'm good.
I'll fight for both of us. I gotcha.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm good.
So by the time the class ended, a majority of the students had pounding headaches.
Oof.
But so Anthony and Ken, they actually ended up keeping in contact, and they would later meet up to do another reading on Harold, which led to this like interview of sorts when they were asking the doll questions. Mm-hmm. So, do you want to hear this interview?
Yeah, I guess I do.
Me too, buddy.
Yeah.
So, they first asked, what is your name? To which the demon replied, you have to earn my name.
Oof.
They then said, we have encountered beings like you before. And the demon replied, there are no beings like me. They then asked if it could make its presence known by turning the lights on and off. And the demon responded with, quote, do not make me perform. You won't like it.
Oh.
Lastly, they asked, how old are you? To which the demon replied, I was old when your world was young. My story began when time started.
Wow.
Dramatic. You know, like when you're 12 and someone's like, how old are you? And you're like, not fucking 12. Or when you're online in chat rooms and you're saying you're 18. Yeah.
Were you that kid?
My mom calls. She says I have to go.
I was always the one that's like, sure, I might be 14, but I'm like really mature for my age. And I hang out with all these older kids. And I'm like, I hate this.
People under 18.
Don't do that.
If someone over 18 says you're mature for your age, run the other fucking direction.
Or that you're more like you're like super mature. Like, don't
come to us.
Bad news.
We'll fight them for you.
Yeah.
Got you. So, by this point, Anthony had owned the doll for nearly 10 years. And over this time, he'd been able to acquire more information from both Vincent and other psychics and mediums. He documented it all with his blog posts and YouTube vlogs, along with countless videos from people sharing their own personal experiences. And fun fact, the vlogs are titled Haunted Harold Vlogs. I love that.
I could just look that up and watch those.
You need to see his face with his voice. They don't quite match up, but then I'm like, you go, Anthony. Like, he has a deeper voice than I originally thought.
Uh-huh.
Like, look up a picture of him real fast.
I don't want to look up anything right now.
Okay. I'll show you later.
Fine, I'll do it.
So, as I kind of said, like, Anthony later explained in an interview that the only reason he had been doing this for so long was because of the other spirits being held prisoner in the doll, and that it was his responsibility to free them. At one point, Anthony was even offered $50,000 for the doll, but he declined and said that he couldn't abandon the ones that needed his help. So, go Anthony. Go Anthony. So, with all this information he was given, Anthony eventually got to the point that he was able to discover Harold's real identity. He was able to find out his name, place of birth, how and where he died, and the place he visited in between. He even got pictures of him, too. Just from, like, people having experiences and writing into him and kind of, like, piecing these clues together over time. So it's like one epic long road trip with the haunted doll, which, now that I think about it, I'm imagining Harold and Anthony in, like, a red convertible, both in the front seat with the top down and, like, sunglasses on, driving through the mountains. Am I wrong or am I right?
I feel like that sounds about right. That's how it should be, at least.
This is the Lifetime movie I need and want. Come on.
Great.
So, along with that, he was also able to learn the name of the demon along with the other two spirits. And it was at this time when he was contemplating whether or not to release the names to the public to see if that could generate more leads. And this is when he received another message from Larry. So, that same one that had seen the people and then had the sketches drawn on their faces.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one with long hair and then the kid.
Yeah.
So he told Anthony how he had been reading his Bible, and when he left so he's reading his Bible. When he left the book open to pick up his son from school. When he returned, the book was open to a completely different page, and all Larry could focus on was the name Abaddon. And he knew he had to tell Anthony about his experience. It's like,
wow,
this feels weird. I got to tell Anthony about this.
Yeah, like it can't be just like a mere coincidence.
No. So Anthony was shocked when Larry told him this. And he's like, where the fuck did you get that name, buddy? He's like, just there. This is because years ago, Vincent had drawn him a picture with both the name Abaddon and Apollon. So those are both the same name, but one is the Greek version and the other is the Hebrew version.
Mm-hmm.
This is, in fact, the name of a demon who is also known as the Destroyer and the king of an army of locusts. Nice. Think of the flies.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, stop it.
I couldn't resist. So, Anthony took this as a sign he took this as a sign to release the names to the public because people were figuring it out. He was like, okay, it's time. It turns out that the woman with long hair is actually named Elsie, and the little girl is a young girl. The child is a young girl named Marjorie. She just has a bowl cut. And the scary man covered in burns is Harold.
Stop it.
So, after this information came out, Anthony actually started doing flashlight interviews with the doll. And this is so fucking cool. So what he did is he printed out the sketches that Larry had made from his first vision. Mm-hmm. And he tapes the pictures to a different flashlight. So he can ask them, when he's doing an interview, he can ask a specific spirit a question and receive an answer that way. Which I thought was so fucking cool. I'm like, that's goddamn genius right there.
So they have their own channels that they can use with the flashlight.
Exactly. I was like, oh. Funny enough, when he first started doing them, like the flashlight interviews, he would be thinking of a question and the flashlight would light up to answer. So he had to like physically tell Harold, he's like, listen, you need to wait until I verbalize my question to give me an answer.
Ooh.
Spooky, right? Fucking spooky.
I would.
Yeah. And so shortly after releasing the names, he was able to get even more information. And after going on this 3-year-long wild goose chase road trip, the clues finally led to Brisbane, Australia. And on February 22nd, 2017, Anthony and a team in Australia were able to successfully release the souls that were trapped in the doll, all except for Harold, who would not leave because he still served Abaddon, So he refused to leave because he's like, I won't leave the one I serve. And I said, cue movie end card.
It's time for a sequel.
Harold's back with a vengeance. So since fulfilling his mission, Anthony has worked to get his old life back and try to make up for the years he spent haunted by the doll.
Yeah.
He has since been given an exorcism, and he told the priest about everything that happened. And the priest said, quote, "Your story terrifies me. I've encountered evil before, but never on the level that you've experienced."
Wow.
The exorcism actually helped Anthony a ton. And more recently, he put a St. Michael, the Archangel necklace around. He put a St. Michael, the Archangel necklace around the doll before he blessed the necklace with holy water. And as he was doing so, he could literally feel Harold's fear. Since then, things have been quiet, though there's been some things off and on that he's posted on his Facebook page. I guess he was like taking both of his dogs for a walk in the park when he straight up saw a Abaddon, like out of the corner of his eye, like demon form. He's like, I think the fuck not, buddy. No, no, no. So whenever that happens, he just throws more holy water on Harold.
Yeah.
Trying to stop that. So it seems like there's still kind of a battle going on, but the spirits have been released, which is good.
Yeah. All the ones that wanted to be released are finally gone.
Exactly. There was also a really weird thing that happened. So the book essentially is like his journey with Harold. And I recommend you guys, like, if you want to, if you're more interested, check it out, because it also has a bunch of the photos that Vincent drew. And again, these are like 6-year-old drawings. Terrifying. They're terrifying. Oh my God. There was also an experience that started happening with crows, where they would start coming up to the windows in Vincent and Jane's house and get closer and closer. And so Jane would call Anthony and be like, hey, the crows are fucking back. And so he'd have to throw holy water on Harold. And then the crows like go away a distance. He's like, I think that's better. And there was also a point where it seemed like Vincent was getting possessed too. And so they had to have an exorcism on him. And his parents were freaking the fuck out. But he's okay now. That's cool.
That's good.
Yeah, so that is Harold the Doll. That story. That Lifetime movie of a
It really is like a...
ride.
I'm surprised that there isn't a movie about that itself either.
Right.
But I feel like if you bring a lot more attention to it, a lot more people would be desensitized to that kind of situation and be like, don't do that.
Fair. Maybe I just want like a fun rom-com of a guy and a haunted doll going on a little road trip. Some shenanigans happening. You know?
Yeah. Driving off into the sunset together. Little aviators on the doll.
See, that'd be so
matching
good.
Aviators on the guy.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what did you think of our buddy Harold?
I think I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
It was the fucking, like, the sass on that doll. I mean, like, you have to earn my name. And then, don't make me perform. You won't like it.
Yeah. It's scary.
So, after everything Anthony went through, I'm like, okay, buddy. You deserve to have your book.
Yeah.
Like, 10 years with the doll. Oof.
That's crazy. I'm glad that, like, he decided to keep it so that way he can protect others from it.
Right? Even after being offered $50,000.
Yeah.
It's bonkers. It's bananas. Love that.
It's incredible.
Okay. Yeah. They're lesbians, Harold.
Do you mind if we take a break?
Yeah, take a break. Gotta pee. Big mood. All right, we'll be right back once we Tinkletown. Boop. Record. All right. We're back at it. Like the fun sequel that you guys wanted. Maybe? Yes. I'm gonna say yes. I got my my shake from today. It was frozen.
Ooh.
See, look at this. I wait for it to unfreeze.
You froze on my screen, though, so I can't see it.
I froze my Frozen on your Frozen.
You froze on my frozen.
It's Oreo mint. I just want the Oreo mint.
R.I.P.
I got the spoon out. So that's something.
Oh.
Working hard. Are you ready for our guessing game that we do? And I cherish it and I love it every time.
Yeah.
Okay, is it...
I'm just recording how, like, your face is still frozen on this one
It's still frozen.
And I can't wait to show it to you.
I'm worried.
Oh, there you are. You unfroze. Okay. Now I can send this to you.
I'm so worried.
So, do you want to guess what my story is about?
Is it paranormal, true crime, conspiracy, cryptid, medical mystery?
It's a mystery. No, it's true crime.
It's true crime?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. What era are we in?
The 80s.
The 80s! My time to shine. Is it one that I would know?
I don't know, because I didn't know about them until I, like, had to look this up. So I was like, But I guess it's a pretty... Like, it's going to be a pair. I called them the knockoff Bonnie and Clyde because I was like, they ain't cool at all for the terrible things that they did.
Oof. Does it take place in America?
Yep. Took place in Los Angeles.
Oh, in LA. Okay.
Yeah. You know, like the homestead of a lot of true crimes in the 80s, apparently.
You are absolutely right. And the 40s. I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing. So I'm excited to learn.
So,
what do we got?
I'm going to tell you the story about these pair of serial killers called, they were collectively known as the Sunset Strip Killers.
I feel like I recognize that name.
I don't know. So
it sounds like the name of a serial killer.
Yeah. So I have Daniel Clark and his lady friend, Carol M. Bundy.
Carol M. Bundy?
Uh-huh. Or no, not Daniel. Douglas Clark. Douglas Daniel Clark.
Relation?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, sorry. Side note. So, guys, I got Alex to watch High School Musical for the first time because she's never seen it, and it's Utah culture. What she needed. What team? While watching it, holy fuck, I think Zac Efron was made to play Ted Bundy because the amount of fucking times he's just standing there so creepily, like looming over and saying things. It was weird. Like
Sounds
that.
About right.
Like that.
Yeah.
We were just watching, we're like, holy fuck. Holy shit.
Yeah, when he was cast as Ted Bundy, I was like, that makes sense.
Like, we were shocked. Like, there's that one point in the first movie where Gabriella's on the phone and he's like, turn around, and she's in her room. She turns around, he's just standing on her balcony. He got up there somehow, just staring at her, not saying anything. Yeah.
That's creepy.
So sorry, I need to share that info with you. It was very important.
Understandable. So, I'll start with the background of these people.
Okay, I'm ready. So,
Carol Bundy. She had a very troubled childhood. She was born August 26th of 1942. Apparently, both of her parents were both abusive alcoholics.
Oof.
Yeah. Her mother had died when she was young, and her father had sexually abused her starting at the age of 11.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not fun. But by the time that her father had remarried, he had put her in various foster homes. So when she was 17, she had like pretty much left and married a 56-year-old man.
I'm sorry. What? What?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see. By the time that she had met Doug Clark, she was 37, leaving her third marriage from an abusive man. Because sadly, when we're young, that's when we learn how to cope with things, and it's hard to unlearn things sometimes and kind of go back to what you know and what is familiar to you. So
100%. Oh, so
tough.
bad.
Yeah. Before that, she had actually been living in an apartment complex, and her apartment block manager, he was a part-time country singer named Jack Murray that she had an affair with, and she even tried to bribe his wife to leave him.
What?
Yeah, she's all like, I love this man. I want to be with him. Give me the man. Give me the boy.
Like, some weird respect, though. Like, willing to pay the gal. I'm like, okay.
But she was like, no. And then she told her husband to, like, evict her and be like, get rid of her. Like, make her leave. But after she had been evicted, she started going to the bar that he would sing at. And it was a bar called Little Nashville. And that's where Clark had met, or that's where Bundy had met Clark in 1980.
Okay. So they're both like in their, or she's in her late 30s.
Like, yeah, very late 30s in that time. And when she met Douglas Clark, or Doug, they like moved in together, and they realized they both had really, really fucked up sexual fantasies. And they're like, hey, we are compatible. And I don't like that. It's very awkward.
This wasn't in my horoscope. No.
Right?
Raggy.
Right? Okay. So let's talk about Doug. He was born on March 10th, 1948. He was the son of Franklin Clark, who was a naval intelligence officer. And so pretty much because his family was in the military, he had moved a lot in his childhood. And he later claimed to have lived in 37 different countries.
37? Okay, buddy.
That's too many.
That's too many.
I would have a hard time living in 37 different states. I've only lived in 3 different states, and I'm like, it's too many.
I've lived in one.
One too many.
It's true.
By 1958, his father had left the Navy, and they were in. He went to work as a for a civilian position as an engineer.
Okay.
With this company that was called a Transport Company of Texas, but the family still moved around a lot during that time. Eventually, like, Clark was sent to like an exclusive international school in Geneva, like even while his family was like moving like back and forth like in the US and like everywhere else. And then he later attended the Culver Military Academy. He graduated in 1967 and then enlisted in the U.S. Air Force.
Okay.
But eventually he was discharged from the Air Force, and he drifted around for the next decade, often working as a mechanic. Eventually he got to Los Angeles and was employed as a steam plant operator for the LA Department of Water and Power, working at the Valley Generating Station before just randomly quitting.
Okay.
Yep. He also then started to work as a boiler operator at the Jergens soap factory in Burbank, but was fired due to high rates of absence and violent threats he had made against his coworkers.
Oof. What could go wrong?
Right? What? Okay. And And while he was living in California and in that area, he started to frequent Little Nashville, the same bar where he would eventually meet Carol Bundy.
What, Roweggy?
Right? Anyways, let's just go in and talk about these weird fantasies and murders and stuff.
Can't wait. Here for the ride.
So first, they started off with just, like, bringing prostitutes in to, like, have threesomes and stuff.
Okay.
And then Clark was also interested in, like, a lot of, like, nasty, terrible things like pedophilia. So he would, like, take pictures of young girls, and it was really disgusting.
Did you see Abby in the background? Right there.
Mm-hmm. Stop!
Impressive.
I gotta pay attention.
She's got to talk about serial killers. She got to talk about serial killers.
Right?
You're telling them about serial killers?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's still a bad buddy.
Wait, let me show you my new dance.
She has a new dance to show us really fast.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how to do it, but...
You guys should really watch the screen record videos. They're great. I'll squeeze over to give you some room, Abby.
No.
You're not even in frame. Abby, you're not in frame.
Is she just trying not to be in frame?
Do it again.
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
One more time.
Amazing.
That was your nighttime treat. You're welcome.
Well, now back to the
murder.
very sad and depressing things I'm about to say. Yeah, so
it started with sex workers and then unfortunate
Then to
pedophilia.
11-year-olds being photographed.
Oh,
yeah. Eventually, it would escalate from that to talking about how much he wanted to kill a girl while having sex with her. He then persuaded Bundy to purchase 2 automatic pistols for him to use, pretty much so then he can fulfill that fantasy of feeling her contractions during the death spasms. You have any thoughts and feelings?
Remember that feeling of regret you were feeling about an hour ago?
I always feel that.
Yeah, it's hitting,
yes.
hitting strong, buddy.
You want to know something sad and terrible?
Yeah.
This guy is still in prison. He's still alive.
What? No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Remember we were talking about High School Musical and we weren't talking about this? That was fun.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this now, so
Not true.
Let's talk about this. It's terrible. Yeah, so pretty much Bundy bought those 2 guns so then he can fulfill his fantasies. They brought in 2 teenagers one night whom he murdered after picking them up on the Sunset Strip.
Oh my god.
Yep. He ordered them to go down on him, and then he shot them both in the head before taking them to a garage and necrophilia things.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
It's nasty. Like, I don't care if he's like a 70-year-old man now. I'm ready to murder. Except I won't murder to anyone listening that's
to the FBI.
That,
we are joking.
Like,
He was chained
I
to someone,
just
tripped
saying,
him,
like,
and he fell on his knife.
yeah, he just tripped onto this knife. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how he tripped and fell on it 27 times.
Mm-hmm. Happens best bush.
So after he did all those things, he dumped their bodies near the Ventura Freeway, where they were found the next day. After that, Bundy said that she felt uneasy and then phoned the police, admitting to have some knowledge of the murders, but refused to provide any actual clues to who had done it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Apparently, afterwards, Clark had told her that if either of them were apprehended, he would just take the blame in hopes that she would be allowed to go free. And I'm like, okay. But I'm like, they always say that. It's like, I'll take the blame for you. It's fine. But I'm like, are you really going to, though?
It's
Will
just
you,
the tip.
though?
Don't worry about it.
All men do is lie.
They're lesbians, Harold, and all men do is lie.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
So pretty much 12 days after that initial first murder, apparently, Clark had killed 2 other sex workers. And so, like before, he had just lured them into his car, then shot them and dumped their bodies in plain sight. But he had actually removed one of the sex workers' heads. Yeah. You need to take a moment?
Well, I'm trying to... Did he have a knife on him, too? Or was it...
I wouldn't be surprised if he was having these fantasies about them and he's all like, I want to still continue with these and I don't want to keep... Like, I don't know. He probably still wanted to keep murdering them and keep doing this. But, like...
Did he keep the head? Or did he... Also... I don't like this guy.
Yeah. Because, like, so he brought words. He brought the head back home and then stored it in the fridge.
Oh.
And when she had seen it, you know what she does? You know what she does?
What does she do?
She puts makeup on it. She makes it beautiful.
I'm sorry, what the fuck? No.
So then So then Clark can use it again.
I'm sorry, I need to repeat this to Alex because I can't be the only person besides us that experiences this right now. This guy decapitates this sex worker, takes the head home, puts it in the fridge. His girlfriend sees the head, puts makeup on it so that he can use it again. Okay, continue.
I love how upset you are about this.
I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they dump the head after they've used it. And then, so 5 days later after that moment that they used it, there's another victim found near the San Fernando Valley. The victim was a runaway who had seemed to have been killed 3 weeks earlier.
Oh.
So that actually is what they claim to believe is Clark's first victim.
Oh, because that was earlier on.
Because this is all happening like super quick and like one after another.
And so their MO is like what seems like teenage sex workers and runaways.
Oh yeah, they pretty much just go for sex workers and runaways.
Oh, the 80s were not kind.
It was not kind at all. During that time, Bundy, she still hasn't given up on her country singing ex-lover person.
Wait.
So
the one that she was trying to bribe his wife?
Yeah. So she's still going to that same bar. She's pretty much still talking to this guy, and she's all like really drunk and like confesses to some of these murders that she was like involved in like what has happened before. He's all like, what the fuck? I'm going to tell the fucking police. Like,
yeah.
this is fucking insane. But I'm just like, I'm glad that he was like that. But then she's all like, wait, no, like, let's hook up first before, like, anything else happens. Like, let's just come to my van. Let's fuck one more time or something.
Come to my murder van for not murder.
And then she kills him.
How does she kill him? She doesn't have one of the guns, does she?
No, she did have one of the guns.
Oh.
She bought 2. He doesn't need to have 2 guns.
He seems weird enough to, I don't know.
He could have. He could definitely. He seems like the kind of guy that would definitely be, like, have that, like, want to have that adrenaline rush of having a gun in each hand and just be like, hell yeah.
I
think getting head.
I heard that. Yep. Hello, welcome to our podcast.
I'm just like,
we're professionals.
He just legs spread, just like, hell yeah, guns up.
This motherfucker. Never change. Never change.
So, Bundy. She kills him, decapitates him, and is like, I gotta leave. I gotta get. Yeah. The thing is, she wasn't as clean about it as she would have thought, like, because she left a lot of evidence behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like the shell castings in the van. But like, she's also like, she was like totally fine with like going along with this, but then also like, I don't know about this. I feel like I really need to tell everyone about this and talk to someone about this. Like, she'll get drunk, tell her ex-lover, guy, person about it, and then kills him. And then like 2 days later, after she's killed him, she's like going to her coworkers like, oh my gosh, I just killed a guy. I don't know what to do. And they're like, what the fuck? What? Why?
This
so
girl.
I'm like, okay, so she has had trauma that makes her think, okay, I want to do these things. But then she's like realizing, no, I don't want to do these things. I was just believing that I should do these things or something. Like, I don't know what's going on in her head. I wish I could understand what was going on in her head. Because pretty much her coworkers were like, you need to confess, go to the police, do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they called the police and she gave a full confession to her and Clark's crimes. So like she pretty much gets arrested for it, and like that's like around that time there was also another murder that happened later on.
Oh really?
Because like most of this stuff started happening around like May, June-ish, I believe. And then August, they find another body that they believe Clark had murdered.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't able to, identify her.
Oh, that was sad.
Her face like was reconstructed by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children in an effort to identify her, because her remains were unrecognizable due to skeletonization. So it's like
skeletonization.
Yeah. So like she her body was already like decomposing and shit.
Just from being out there for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So pretty much the trial started let's see. Oh, this is not what I wanted to read. I had all my notes mixed up because I was like,
Is it bad that every time you keep saying Bundy, my immediate
You think of Ted Bundy?
Well, no, my immediate train of thought is like, oh yeah, Troy Bolton, Zac Efron. I'm having a wild time here. And I keep having like, it feels like I'm inside my brain, like SpongeBob style, but with this little spray bottle, spritzing my brain every time it's like, what? So it feels like.
Yeah, so they were both. So pretty much when she confessed, like she brought Clark into it. He was also arrested for it.
That's what I was wondering if they like were able to catch him.
Yeah, they caught him. And pretty much, she was like, "I'll give you a testimony of everything, and tell you." Well, at first, she said that she was only involved in, I believe it was one or two of the murders, that she only had known about them.
Mm-hmm.
But because she had also confessed to her coworkers, they're like, "You're lying to us." And so eventually she changed her story, and she's like, "Okay, if I tell you everything, like, can I get a plea bargain for this?" But she just received a life sentence instead.
Okay.
So when Clark was arrested, like they found his the murder weapons at his workplace. Bundy was charged with the 2 murders. Clark was charged with 6 murders. During his trial, he had to act as his own defense counsel and then try to blame Bundy for everything. And apparently, during his trial, like his first like defense attorney person, I got a burp. Sorry, he was like apparently drunk or like very bad at his job. Like he was like, he didn't care. Like he like fell asleep during the trial or something.
The
and
80s were the goddamn Wild West. Holy shit.
Right? And so he was pretty much like, I want to just do this on my own. Like, I just want to represent myself. Like, fuck this shit. And they're like, oh, I guess so. But like, we ain't going to help you with nothing. Or we ain't going to help you with anything. Yeah, so it's like, it was terrible.
Jesus.
Anyway, Clark tried to like blame Bundy for everything, saying that he had been manipulated to killing all those ladies. But no one believed him, and he was sentenced to death in 1983. And so he currently still remains on California's death row.
Oh,
and
so
he's 72 years old right now.
This was a little less than 40 years ago. He's been on death row for nearly 40 years.
He's still alive.
Weren't Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy and Jeffrey Dahmer? Or no, Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't. But Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy, weren't they like executed super fast?
Mm-hmm. But they had like, I think, I don't know what was going on with that because like there has been some people that like had like doubts about like the nature of the conviction because like there was a criminologist who like contested that Clark could provide alibis for 5 of the 7 murders that had happened.
Oh, really?
And so it's like, yeah, that he was convicted of. And it was like weird. Because like the presiding judge like also refused to accept key physical evidence, which included like a witness and several banking documents that exonerated Clark and Wilson's murder, which was one of the 2 sex workers. Because he killed the 2 teenage girls and 2 sex workers, and then more people. Yeah, so like during one of them, like they were like, "Are you sure like that happened?" But like the judge wouldn't like listen to anything else than what he already perceived to be true.
Wild West.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, like Bundy like pretty much was very inconsistent with her testimony. saying like she wasn't like truly involved. Like the first murder that she confessed to, she was like, I wasn't involved in it. I didn't know anything about it. But like then like they realized like she had withdrew money from her ex-boy thing's account, and they're like, and she was all like, the police took the money that I got out and stuff. And it's like, what? I don't understand this. There's a lot of weird things because there's like lack of information, lack of evidence in this scenario. But they were pretty much like, her testimony is pretty much what all we're using for what's that word? Pretty much all that they use to convict Clark.
Oh, dang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh. So he got life in prison. No, not life in prison. He's on death row. She got life in prison. Bundy got life in prison. But she had died from heart failure in 2003 at the age of 61.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he's currently alive. And they murdered a bunch of people. And it's terrible. And I don't like them.
How are you on death row for 40 years?
Right? I do not know.
Jeez Louise.
Anyways, that's my story. It's
That was a fucking wild ride.
Yeah. It would have been better if I organized my notes better, but I
thought it was good.
Eh.
I thought it was laid out nicely.
It's crazy.
I still can't believe the fucking makeup thing. That will.
Yeah.
Abby just ran by in her towel. She's like a little cryptid in the back.
She really is. You just hear her laughing out of nowhere.
V said you're a cryptid. You just hear your laughter out of nowhere. V said you're a cryptid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
But yeah. There were like more details about like what they did with the other like decapitated heads and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to read into it. It's nasty what they were doing. It's terrible what they were doing.
Right,
it sucks that they found each other.
That's like one of the parts I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Where I'm like, is it really that she was into that dark sexual fantasy? Or was she like, this is another abusive man and I'm falling into the same pattern that I always fall into. So I'm going to just enable him to do these dark, terrible things.
That would be my kind of guess.
Because she also felt bad and then like confessed to the country singer.
Yeah.
And confessed to her coworkers and then confessed to the police and even called the police after the first initial murder.
And it doesn't seem like she was like 100% on board.
Yeah, it's all like, sure, I'll buy him these guns. Sure, I'll like help him murder and do all these nasty things and fulfill his dark sexual fantasies. But like, are these really my dark sexual fantasies? I don't think so. I just think that he took advantage. But I don't know because that's still fucked up what she did.
Yeah.
Still fucked up. And I don't like it.
What'd you say earlier? All men lie.
All men do is lie.
Oh, that's rough, buddy.
It is.
Yeah, that'd be my guess too. I don't know. I also feel like it's a lot of work to decapitate somebody.
Right?
Like that doesn't feel as heat of the moment.
Yeah.
That's I'm really gonna put my elbow grease into dismembering a body. I kept doing that and he kept telling me to stop.
Yeah. Stop it. I'm recording right now. I'm recording.
What'd your mom say?
Nothing.
You okay, buddy?
I'm tired. But I can't sleep.
Why no
I don't know.
sleep?
Because I'm going to have nightmares and migraines out of nowhere. And I don't have migraines. So if I get a migraine, I'm going to know exactly what happened.
I'll give you that, because I've never had a migraine before either. So if you get one tonight...
We'll know.
You have some sage, right?
No.
Do you have holy water?
No.
Can you make your own holy water? Can you bless holy water by yourself?
I don't know about that.
Sorry, Alex was miming pissing. So, there's that.
Okay. That works. Like, I'm pretty sure that I'll just use my crystals.
Yeah, let's use your crystals. That's a good idea. I know you can do salt water too.
I have salt water and moon water.
So you should be fine.
I should be fine.
You should be fine. Yeah.
I can also grab an email and just use that email. Be like, no, I've never had a migraine before. How do I do this?
I did vaguely wonder if the doll ever got moldy, because it sounds like Anthony had to throw a fuck ton of holy water on Harold. So I'm like, did he dry out? What happened?
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, how? How? Like, is it just like weaken over time as the holy evaporates?
The doll's also pretty delicate and fragile, as far as just because it's an older doll and structure wise. Yeah, I don't know. It's spooky.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, do you have a song request? Song recommendation?
Song recommendation?
Guess who will never get that right? Me.
It's you. What have I... I've been listening to a lot of this group called Itzy, this girl group.
Ooh.
My favorite song from them is Wannabe.
Wannabe?
Wannabe by Itzy.
Wannabe by Itzy. Okay. Yeah. I too.
It's completely does not relate to anything that we've talked about right now, and it's a completely very upbeat, very fun song.
So is mine. I too have been listening to a girl group, the Pointer Sisters. I love the Pointer Sisters.
Ooh.
So I was listening to one of their albums the other day. So I'm going to say I'm so excited, because that's a fucking bop. We love Pointer Sisters in this house.
Aww.
Grew up on Pointer Sisters. So we have those two. Oh, if y'all want to get in contact with us, you can email us at tipsymysteries@gmail.com. You can also hit up our Instagram, Twitter, maybe Facebook. I'm sorry, guys. You can hit up the other ones at Tipsy Mysteries.
Yeah.
We're on those. Da-da-da-da-da.
If you have any spooky doll stories, or if you want to tell us about some
holy
fucked up shit that's happened in your life,
please. Also, if you have any doppelganger stuff, I hate myself enough to ask for it. So please give me it. Give me your doppelganger stories.
You can read those. I'll be here.
You know, those that point in a movie where it pauses and it's you would come to regret those words.
Yeah.
I felt that. Love it.
I feel it too.
Do you have anything to add? Any parting words of advice from the wealth of knowledge that is V?
Don't buy dolls at the flea market.
Don't buy haunted dolls. Don't give in to the haunted doll. What?
You don't know. You might just buy a regular doll, and then out of nowhere it becomes haunted.
I think your VCS ones are probably fine.
With how much I've been talking about them haunting me, though, I feel like I'm manifesting something within them. And I'm like, Yoongi!
But isn't that what you want?
No, because it's probably gonna be some demon pretending to be Yoongi. And I'm like, how do you speak English now? How are you doing this? But it's because it's a demon.
I feel like the demon's production value better be pretty, like, top tier if it really wants to be portraying BTS.
Right?
Do you think they have, like, the little talent awards, little talent show, demon talent shows? Of who could be, like, the best?
They can
Think
be the
about
best
it.
at being the worst.
Like, nominees for, like, the best blonde girl in pigtails.
Who
Think
can
about
do
it.
the best imitation of a child, like, searching for their mother that makes you want to help them find them?
I think that's a great idea.
It's like a triathlon kind of.
This could be our spin-off series from first the RuPaul's Drag Race, but hosted by Gordon Ramsay, to then Demon Talent Show. Who would host the Demon Talent Show, though?
Gordon Ramsay.
What if it's Gordon Ramsay and Simon Cowell?
You're onto something. You're onto something.
Got gay brain.
Me.
Happy Pride Month, guys.
Happy Pride Month. This is probably going to be out after Pride Month.
Fuck knows. I don't know what our schedule is anymore.
What's the schedule? What's being consistent?
Because next week we're going to be releasing episode 21. Because last week was a very important podcast blackout. It's 21, so this is 24. Yes, we're still 3 episodes ahead.
So that's going to be a month and a half.
Do you guys like time traveling with us and then feeling our existential dread when we realize what's happening? I sure do.
Who knows what will happen in a month and a half?
Who the fuck knows? Me too, buddy. I think we're both sleepy.
I'm being haunted.
By my beautiful Pennywise impressions? Yes.
Yeah. They keep me up late at night.
You're so welcome. Ding, 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 ding. Rat-ta-ta-ta-ta. Abby can do the best. Yeah.
Do you have any parting words?
Let's try to think.
Don't sew heads back onto random dolls that your family gets you at a vintage store.
Absolutely don't do that. Also, Black Lives Matter. Also, Happy Pride Month. Also, I don't know.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Don't get sick.
Don't get sick. Stay cool. Stay chillin'.
Yeah.
Wee dee 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 dee. Yeah.
I think that's everything.
That's everything. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye.